For the 9th year in a row, a triathlon competition will take place July 29th and 30th in South Boston. Sponsored by the Columbia Threadneedle Investments, the Boston Triathlon will draw athletes from around the country, but also have activities for young people from the neighborhoods. These will take place on July 29th in the Kids Day in partnership with Youth Enrichment Services. To tell us what's planned are the event director for the Boston Triathlon, Michael O'Neill, and the executive director of Youth Enrichment Services, Bryan Van Dorpe. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you, Chris.
First of all, start with Michael. Why an event like this in South Boston?
Well, when you put on the sport that some people aren't familiar with, maybe call it a crazy sport where you swim, bike, and then run, you need a few things. You need a lot of parking. You have good roads. You need water, and you need a lot of open space to park the bikes in the transition area. And the location that we have at Carson Beach and Day Boulevard and Moakley Park, with the parking from UMass Boston when they're out of session in the summer, plenty of parking, beautiful water, as we were discussing before the show. The Boston Harbor is really quite nice to swim in these days. And so it's really a perfect venue for an urban triathlon.
Now, of course, the other reason here is that, this is great for world-class athletes maybe, but I guess maybe you may be trying to open a window for people in Boston to say, hey, maybe we can do some of this stuff too.
Yeah, professionally, I also manage professional Olympic triathletes, and that's really not the focus at this race. We get some real fast people that come to do this race from all over the country and the world, but this race, our focus has been on regular people. Maybe someone who was a runner or a jogger, and they said, I want to try a new challenge. And maybe they come over and they do it as a relay, where they get a friend who swam in high school maybe, and a friend that owns a bike, and they combine and make a team and try it out the first year, figure out what it's all about. And then maybe next year they say, I'm going to do 2 of the 3 legs, or maybe then all 3, and just sort of setting the goal up. But throughout the year, we have coaches that do training clinics, and we're teaching people about the sport, how to prepare for the sport. And as we always say, it's one thing to get out of your comfort zone, but it's another to do something without enough information. So we're trying to combat that and educate people.
Bryan, this is an event where you can bring your kids to watch this while it's going on, but there will be events for the kids themselves, and this is where your organization comes in, right?
Yeah, it definitely fits in with our mission. YES was established in 1968, 49 years ago, by Richard Williams, who was inspired by the Winter Olympics himself. And he felt that by bringing young Boston kids up skiing to get to literally and figuratively the top of the mountain, it would be transformational. They'd build confidence, leadership skills, resiliency that would help them meet life's challenges. And I think fast forward 10 years ago, YES enlarged that vision to encompass other activities like track and field, kayaking, rock climbing, in addition to leadership skills, college prep, and career aspirations, so that young people now follow this model and try new things and try new opportunities. And I think by building those skills, it really makes them well-rounded and better prepared for college.
Well, what about the activities on Kids Day itself?
Yeah, we offer a track and field program during the summer that meets 3 times a week, twice at Moakley Park, which is literally right across the street from the start. And kids go through track and field drills, learn how to jump, run, throw, and also have some great role models, some past college athletes, some great young people who are aspiring to do those things, and they're really taught to do those things. What we do is encourage them to try new things so that later in life they won't be scared to do anything.
This is BNN News, and we're talking with Michael O'Neill from the Boston Triathlon and Bryan Van Dorpe from Youth Enrichment Services. Bryan, what's also going on here, there's going to be a benefit from these events for, was it Boston Medical Center? They have a program there?
Yeah, they do. So on Saturday, on the agenda, last year was our first year we had a kids event, and we decided to move it the day before to really highlight the kids and give them the real special day. So on the events of the day, we're going to have a fun run. We'll have a splash and dash, and then a little bike park set up by our partners at Cliff Bar. And the charitable relationship with Boston Medical Center and their addiction programs, they have their Catalyst program, it's their adolescent addiction program, their young adult addiction and adult addiction program. It goes hand in hand with the Kids Day, because the charitable work we're doing to support when there is a problem of addiction is essential. And the Kids Day and what we're trying to do with our organization and what Bryan's successfully doing with Yes is we're trying to give kids positive pathways for better opportunities, better skills to face life challenges, and hopefully we can put them on a positive track through sports and activities versus some of the other challenges that could lead to the opioid problem that has been really impacting the state and the city.
Bryan, talk to me a little bit about the stages that young people go through, because whether it's downhill skiing for the first time or running a mile or 2 miles. I mean, a lot of times I imagine kids are going to say, this is tough, it's a little uncomfortable, can I do this? What happens after that stage?
Exactly. I think there are challenges. What we try to do is provide great role models, young coaches that grow up through the system and then they come back and actually give back, our high school kids, our coaches. But I think teaching them that it's okay to fall down, it's okay to not finish, just get up and complete the race, complete the course, complete the downhill stride. It's not going to happen in one day, and what we try to do is give them opportunities to continue with us. Our goal is to keep our young people, some start as young as 4 in track and at 7 at skiing, throughout their elementary and middle schools, and then in high school they take a leadership role and they become a coach themselves. So down at the track you'll see a number of high school young people who have come up through the program who are now giving back, and they understand the value of that. And that's our success story as they do that and go into college and finish college.
Michael, we should get into a little more details for people about the times and places where to go to for all these events.
Yeah, for the Kids Day at the Boston Triathlon on July 29th, 2 p.m. is sort of race day registration. You can register online at our website, bostontri.com. But then the actual activities kick off at 3 o'clock. So between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. on July 29th for the kids, there'll be this series of different events. The Cliff Kids Ride Zone will be going on that whole time. Kids don't need a bike. They can show up. We'll have bikes there for them and they can try it out and demo the ride zone. There's a fun run for kids under the age of 7, and then there's a splash and dash for kids 7 to 14. And that's a short swim followed by a short run race.
And you've got more details, of course, on your website. Right?
We do, yeah. And then the adult race on the 30th is early morning start, 6:30 a.m. start, and things will go most of the day into the afternoon. Then we have an after party after the race, so probably wrap up around the after party around 4 o'clock.
Bryan, I know you have activities year-round, including for a lot of the kids in the neighborhoods. And what's your website if they want to find more?
www.yeskids.org.
Thank you both very much. Bryan Van Dorpe from Youth Enrichment Services and Michael O'Neill for the Boston Triathlon.
Thanks for having us.
We'll have more news in just a moment.